Good morning and welcome to Gulfstream today. Brian Nato with you as we'll wrap up another 4-day race week here at the Royal Palm Meet. And as you can see right there, it's another beautiful day here in Hollandale Beach. We've got a firm turf course. We've got a fast main track. The Tapeta is in play as well. A little steamy out here as it's been all week, but we hope to see you out here on a good closing day to the weekend after such a big Saturday, of course, both here and then at our sister track in Pimlico up in Baltimore, Preakness 149. And Wayne Lucas just keeps on keeping on, 88 years young, and he gets the seventh Preakness win for the coach, which sees the gray on a masterful ride by Jamie Torres, just taking a race that nobody wanted to go with and lulling them all to sleep. We'll show it and talk about it a little bit more in the lightning round, but of course we had the two stakes here yesterday as well. Crimson Advocate back and better than ever for George Weaver. How exciting was that? We'll show that too in the lightning round, but of course the Rainbow Six now will be the highlight of the card today. And we go to race number 4 on this 9-race card. And that carryover is getting large, $1.16, and that means we'll play for around $200,000 today, and it is not an easy sequence. It is not an easy card, and buddy Doug Wright's going to stop back over later. He's been helping us out all weekend, and he's got the rainbow today, so he's going to step up for that one there. But we've got the early pick 5 to kick things off here in the opener, already about $25,000 and counting. Here's my ticket at $18. Big scratch in the opening leg, which I'll get to in a second. You can see I'm going 3 deep here in race number 2. No Vala from a little bit off the pace, I think, is going to be tough in there. But yeah, I'm going to spread a little bit. Back-to-back singles. Race 3, the 5, is Queen Daymar in what is a return assignment against Bullet Valentina, who she beat last time in race 4. That's Proverb, and I just don't really feel like trying to beat him. And what form he's been in. 6 for 8 here on the main track for Safi Joseph Jr., and it's almost like he's getting better and better and better. And then there you can see the deep spread in race 5. That is a fascinating maiden special weight on the turf. These are for the fillies. We ran one for the Colts yesterday. These are for the 3-year-old fillies, and a big robust field in there. And as you can see, I'm going to spread very, very deep in what is now a field of 10, and I'm going to use 6 of them. So there you go on an $18 ticket. That also kicks off the TT Pick 3, and what a tricky race to do so. I'll have a ticket for that as well. But let's get into the opener now. We're going 5 furlongs on the Tapeta here. These are 12-5 maiden claimers, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. We've got a scratch of the 1 Little Carly. The big scratch is the 7 Queen Honesty, and we're going to have some jockey updates here as Emmanuel Moline is going to ride the 11. Luca Panici's off his mounts today. We'll have them throughout the day as well. But let's get back to the opener now. Spirit of Victory was going to be favored anyway before the scratch, and now with Queen Honesty out of this race, I think Spirit of Victory really becomes front and center if she wasn't already. This is a reclaim last time by Steve Claceris, and what's he do? Claimed her for 16, bumped her to a quarter. It didn't quite work out. She's in for 12.5 today. It's so early in the betting, but that seems about right with the scratch of Queen Honesty, 7, 8 to 5 maybe, because she just looks better than this field. And I don't know, there's not a lot in this field either. I think that's the other problem for if they're her main rivals. Revelo is interesting, though. I'm firmly using her because she added blinkers last time, and she blew way up on the return to the Tapeta. I mean, she's shown speed in the past, but she's never really held it, and it's been a little bit. It was back in March, but she held nicely last time to be 3rd in what was a quote-unquote fast race for the level. She's dangerous on the front end, and we know how speed plays. From there, Gervasius in 3rd, but I don't think she's on the top line with the top 2. Early pick 4 kicks off in race 2. It's on the turf, and it's a good one, too. It's an optional claimer here for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. Here's a jock switch for you. Jose Morelos will ride the 7, Good Bright Flames, and it's going to bring up a replay here. So it's going to be No Vala beating Starry Hope in this spot, and it's not really Starry Hope I really care about, and that's not to disrespect her at all, but it's really No Vala in here. And I think the big deal here is she's going to even have a little bit of trouble here because she's ready to roll. I know she was 3 to 5. The seam is not there. This is now off the claim for Sandino Hernandez and Amity Racing, and those two, you put them together, they are pretty darn good. She's still not able to run, and now here she is into the breach, as we've heard in the past, and right to daylight. And this is a jog, as Ronnie will be back with us on Thursday, old Jiggy Jog in the Park here. geared down in about third gear there. So now we're off the claim. We're right back at the level. You know, it doesn't bother me at all. We're playing a little poker here. You want to claim her, you go right ahead. But the other big thing, too, you know, I think her main danger is Swoonatra, who's back here after a little foray over to New Orleans there at Fairgrounds. She's going to be tough on the lead, but I feel like there's some other pace pressure in here. And Swoonatra's kind of a tricky gal, because if she doesn't get things her own way, she's not really going to stick around. And so today, yeah, she might be on the lead. I don't envision her freewheeling on the lead like she has in the past. We've got long shot speed from the one Ornella down on the inside. Blinkers are going on too. So it's another reason why I feel like Novala is the play in here in a spot like this. Ipanema Princess is kind of sort of a lesser version of Novala, whereas that she can close a little bit too, but she never really gets there. And she's a little bit tough to trust on that front with that kind of running style. A, at the mercy of the pace. B, spotting tactical speed to the top pick as well. Race number 3, we'll go back to a mile and a 16th on the Tapeta. These are fillies and mares which have never won 2 races. Your tag in here is $8,000. We've got a jock switch on the 1. Anonymous Source will be ridden by Sunny Leone, and this is one of the 2 singles in a row I have. Let's show you the race between Queen Daymar, Bullet Valentina, and Awesome Sauce is going to be well back in third. And this is kind of like the race I just talked about a little bit. I like the tactical speed that Queen Daymar has got here, because that should, at least in theory, always get her first run on Bullet Valentina, and that's exactly what happened last time, and I don't really know why it would really play out any different today. And to Bullet Valentina's credit, she ran on very, very gamely, and she wanted to get there, but Queen Daymar, who's going to come up just a little bit short here, I just feel like you take out the Grandma's Pudding, excuse me, Queen Daymar's just got the big tactical edge here to get first run on Bullet Valentina and keep that kind of same thing that they just had going to the wire there last time, and that's just 1-2. The 7, Chilling Factor, could be dangerous in here. She runs over her head last time for 16. Well, that didn't work out, but she's back with her friends here today for 8, and that was a good second 2 back. It wasn't an overly fast race for the level, but now the line's starting to form behind me where I don't care about the figures anymore. I'd rather see form on the Tapeta than figures, because they're very, very tough to trust. I know we have a low percentage trainer here, but I think Chilling Factor, if maybe you're thinking outside the box a little bit, maybe if you're looking for a price here as well, she could be very, very interesting. So we got 3 down here on this 9-race Sunday Fun Day card. When we come back, we got 6 of them for you. Doug Wright's got the rainbow today, and we'll take a look at it when we get back.
New DRF All Access Past Performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access Past Performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Brian Natta with you. Another beautiful Sunday afternoon here in Hollandale Beach. So we hope to see you out here as we close down another 4-day racing week. $200,000 in the Rainbow 6 now. It's the estimated jackpot, that carryover about $1.16 or so. Let's get into the ticket here. Doug Wright, who's been joining me past couple days, is going to be back with me a little bit later on today. He's got rainbow duties today. I agree with him wholeheartedly. In race 4, you can see a little bit of a spread in race 5. That is a tricky race. That seems to me like the separator race in all of these, because it's going to end the early 4 and early 5. It's going to kick off the late 5, and it's certainly right in the rainbow as well. Race number 6, he's got my best bet, Spetro, in there. That's the 3 horse. Race 7, he goes too deep, and those are the 2 now, especially with the scratch of New Diamond, who I liked. The 2 Cassie runners should get the job done. He's got a Tendre singled. I get that. I agree with that. And he's going 3 deep in a tricky finale. And I've got the 7 on top. He's going to go 8, 9, 11 in there. That's a 1440 ticket. Let's get back to the opening leg here. He's not going to single Proverb, but he is clearly the one to beat. We're going to go 7 furlongs in this starter optional claimer. We've got the 4-year-olds and up. It's clean in here. Proverbs evens on the morning line. He might be 2 or 3 to 5 in here by post time. Let's show you his last race, and I'm going to show you just how good he is. There's nothing going on here other than Edgar Zayas, is just, sitting on a keg of dynamite here, and it's just when he wants to go, we'll tip out. He gets the right setup as well, and here we go. Show him the crop a couple times, and Proverb is just down the road, and the job that Safi Joseph Jr. and the team have done with him is just really, really impressive. He basically, if it's at Gulfstream Park, he's going to win. Okay, he's 6 for 8 lifetime. He's been in the money the 2 other times. The only time he's stubbed his toe a little bit is when he's gone to Fairgrounds in Tampa, and those 2 races were at 2 turns as well. So I don't even necessarily think it's because he went out of town. I just think they were 2-turn races. That's not really his jam. But 7 furlongs here at Gulfstream Park, it is. He's 4 for 5, and the rest of these are in real trouble. Double Play King, the 3, Lightning Tones, the 6. They can both get a piece. They're both the likely usurpers if Proverb doesn't win, but that's not what I'm looking to do today. I will play them underneath only. We'll take the short number and move on. I will say this, and you've probably heard me say this in the past a lot too. Horizontal players in the opening leg of sequences, they don't like to be out the first leg, so they tend to sometimes spread a little more maybe than they should, and sometimes you can get wagering value on horses that are going to be heavy favorites. That's exactly what I'm doing today with Proverb. Race 5, what a tricky one. It's the best betting race on the card today. It's a mile on the turf. It's that maiden special weight I mentioned for the 3-year-old fillies. Firm turf course. The rails are at 52 feet. Scratch the 9. She's so sexy. Hector Diaz Jr. will ride the 3 parallel, and this is my long shot race. I feel like it's a race where you're kind of sort of allowed to look for a long shot. Bunny Honey is the 2. Jerry O'Dwyer's not really a guy that's going to pop really at first asking. They didn't bet this daughter of Demarchillet, but we have to show a pick 5 ticket first. Raymond's on the ball. That makes one of us. Thank you, buddy. I'm just spreading here, okay? And this is my ticket, so thank you, Raymond. My best bet is Spetro in race 6. Race 7, the 2 Cassie horses, as I already mentioned. Race 8, I've got the 6 on Tendre, who's going to be tough in there. And then 3 deep in race 9, and I did mention I've got the 7 on top. Tell Me Some Lies off the claim for Joe Orsino. We'll get back into this race as I jump the gun a little bit. My long shot is Bunny Honey. I thought she ran on. She didn't do really any running. She made up a few lengths. She passed a few horses in the stretch last time. But a daughter of Demarchillet out of any given Saturday mare, the last thing he or she wants to do is run 5 furlongs on debut. Well, now we're running 8 furlongs. We've got a good post position. I expect her to be a little closer on the stretch out, and she's my long shot play in here. The 10, Gilles, certainly the horse to beat, I would expect, for Jack Sisterson. Jack is very, very strong in all areas. This is a good second on debut. Didn't really break any stopwatches, though, and that's kind of another reason why, I'm spreading pretty deep in here. The 1, Shack Revenge, ran well for Jose D'Angelo, a steam horse for Jose, won a turf race yesterday. Actually actually the brother division of this race yesterday, that Uncle Mo coat. So take note of that. The 6 is Reliable Lady. She's certainly got viable form and now going to try the turf on a switch to Fernando Abreu. The 3 is on my ticket, Parallel, who's disappointed me. And the 11, Denver's Alley. Mike Lerman's having a really strong meet. I got to give a shout to a longtime a friend and Shenandoah graduate, Dave Buck, and fellow Pearl Jammer, who is a co-owner of this. So Denver's Alley ran well last time. If we can work out a trip from the 11 hole, then is a big player, but that is very easier said than done. Rails at 52 feet today as well. Late pick 4 in race number 6. We'll go $170 here on the Tapeta. 3-year-olds are 4 and up. Our tag is $8,000. We'll scratch the long shot Leopardi out of here. The 6 is out. I'll tweet that ticket out. It's a run back, and it's not going to cost you very much either. But I've got my best bet here. I think Spetro, if she's not on the lead, she's going to be darn close. Edwin Gonzalez, I have said this pretty much from the time we kind of unveiled the Tapeta here. Edwin, to me, is as on point as anybody riding the Tapeta. He'll take over for Amicio Jaramillo. We've got speed here. She's not a runaway, though, but I think on or just off the lead, if the long shot down inside Tizabis wants to go, he'll just settle up shop outside of her. So not only is there really not any other speed, Eyes of Champion is a long shot speed horse, maybe on the outside. The other main contenders in this race are dead one-run closers, and Shankar will be a little closer, but I find her very, very hard to trust, and I know this is going to be a drop for her. I don't know. Those were state-bred races she's running in, and she hasn't won. She's 1 for 7 with 5 underneath slices on the Tapeta. So I think it really does add up to a real good chance at what could be a square price on Spetro, too, because you know darn well they're going to fire on Shankar. They always do. It's Safi, it's Edgar Zayas, and I'm willing to fade her a little bit, at least in the top spot. Mufrif, the former Safi runner, didn't run on the turf last time. Getting back to the Tapeta will help him, too, but I don't know. He's got no speed whatsoever, and now he's a couple starts away, so we'll see what we get from him. Best bet time in race number 7 for me. Race number 6 for me. Race number 7, we go to the turf, and this was a good one. Unfortunately, this optional claimer here for the 3-year-old fillies going 7.5. We do have a very, very key scratch. Well, maybe for me, because New Diamond was my top pick in here. So now the race, if it didn't already, and it probably did, it really reverts to the 2 Cassie runners. The 7, Gild the Lily. The 8, Boomin' Bell as well. I want to show you Boomin' Bell's last race. I guess it was the 2 turns on turf that blew her way up. I don't really know exactly where it came from, unless that was it. But what I do know is she was really, really good in this spot, and she's going to win comfortably, and she's going to win with a big figure as well. It was her only turf start here at Gulfstream Park. It was her only turf start at 2 turns as well. And if she feels like running back to this race, and you could wonder if maybe she does regress because it is so far and above and beyond anything she's ever done, if she runs back to this race, they're not going to beat her. It's as simple as that. It's so much better than anything anyone else has done in this field. But I like Gild the Lily a little bit more. She had a really tough post position last time. She's drawn better today. That was a good race last time here at Gulfstream on April 6th. And I think that she's going to be a player in here. And here's the other thing. Di Regresso came back for Antonio Sano to win, and it shocked me again. But she's all of a sudden really, really good. Gild the Lily's going to be a better price than her stablemate, too. And I think that's important to note as well. Majestic Venezuela, listen, you go against Victor Barboza right now at your own risk. And I know he's not a turf trainer. I know he's 10% first turf. I know he's 1 for 26 Tapeta to turf. I know all of it. But the barn is just going great guns right now. There's a chance she's on the lead. She'll be close. She'll have a better first run than certainly my top pick. And she's probably going to be 3rd choice in this race. So Majestic Venezuela, I don't love her on turf. She is bred for it. I'd rather have her on the Tapeta, but I think she is a player in here as well. Race number 8 is 7 furlongs on a fast main track. These are state breds. It's a 1X for these 3-year-olds, and we've got 3 scratches of the 5 Jigsaw, the 8 King Fierro, and the 9 Dr. Bader. They were prices in here, and they probably just didn't want to run against Antandre and Celtic Pride, because these are two horses with these kind of resumes and figures that you're not typically going to see in this kind of race. And I want to show you Antandre last time against Open Company, running against General Ledger. What happens here, and I don't think it was any fault of Joe Bravo at all, he just gets kind of forced into making first run because the horse has got run, and General Ledger was following the move. Now, I can't take anything away from General Ledger. This is not an easy trip for him coming through on the inside, and right here Antandre looks like he's down the road, but General Ledger's a pretty darn good horse for Safi. He basically can do anything that Safi's asked him: turf, dirt, torpedo, 1 or 2 turns. And Antandre just gets a little late in the lane. And don't forget now, this is a Florida bred running against Open Company. So, you know, this is a heady effort. Whether he gave it up or not, that remains to be seen. This is a big-time effort here. And I feel like Antandre, yeah, Celtic Pride beat him. I get that. But Antandre stacked 2 races together, 2 very, very fast races together, where Antandre now, the maiden win was super fast, but there's a couple things going on here that bug me a little bit with Celtic Pride, the 7 horse in here. Okay, the horse he beat, Arrogancy, he might never win a race. Okay, he's in on Thursday. I'll probably look foolish for saying that. He is 0 for 9 with 6 seconds in 2/3, okay? He's been necked out. He's been nosed out. He's been beaten a half a leg. That race, whether it's the Beyer or the Thoroughgraphs, is wildly faster than anything Arrogancy has ever run in his life. And where has Celtic Pride been? And in Mike Yates we trust. He won with a firster the other day, a 2-year-old, for Stonehenge actually. But I'm going to fade Celtic Pride a little bit. I got a feeling he might get fried on the lead. The scratches help him a lot, though, because it takes some speed out of this race. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Roar Ready, maybe cycle him back a little bit. It was good to see Ruben Sierra get a win the other day. This is a horse that had a lot of talent, and I just don't know where it went. The mile was a little too far for him last time. His stablemate Braun won that race. But Roar Ready's a dangerous horse if he's back to his best, and his best was back in November, so maybe we're not going to see it. I understand that, but I wanted to use him. What I wanted to try to do here is split up what is going to be now a very, very chalky exacta. Zia Lorenzo is trying the dirt for the first time for Eddie Plisa Jr. and Edgar Zayas. We'll see what we get from him. He could move up, but he is facing a couple real toughies in here in a very, very good race for the level. We'll wrap it up on a firm turf course in the finale. We'll go a mile here, $35,000 maiden claimers in this spot. The rail is at 52 feet, a full big field of 11. What a good race to wrap up the card. And I'm going to go with what should be a decent little price, and that's the 7, Tell Me Some Lies. Joe Orsino doesn't claim a lot of horses. He dips in for 35 from Brian Lynch at the championship meet. He claims Tell Me Some Lies. Okay, he doesn't run back till today. I get it. It's not maybe ideal. There's plenty of works here. I really like that turf work back in March. Okay, I know this horse has been inactive a little bit, but Brian had this horse cranking up pretty good. The turf work says he can handle it. Joe claims him for 35. We're back for 35. There's no scary or precipitous drop in here. This horse was 8-5 on debut too, so there's something that they liked. And oh, by the way, he's an Oscar Performance, who was a awesome turf horse. So Tell Me Some Lies at a little bit of a price. Luna Love on the drop. The maiden special weight drop is key here for Antonio Sano, because obviously it's the biggest drop in racing. The other thing that's very key here too, this is a daughter of Vino Rosso who ran against older horses last time. These are straight 3-year-olds in here, so this is almost like a double drop. Now, can she run? I don't know. She hasn't done a lot of it in any of her 5 starts, but we say this all the time. This is Antonio's kind of race, and I got to say, Antonio's having a phenomenal start to 2024. Rogers Park certainly in the mix. Hey, congrats to Bethany Bumgardner for winning her first career race yesterday in a stakes, by the way. We'll show it to you in the lightning round coming up. This is a maiden special weight dropper. The 2 Tapeta races were good. The turf race was not good, but it was at 1 turn. The Tapeta were at 2. This post is a real problem for Rogers Park. Edwin Gonzalez, boy, he's going to have his work cut out for him out there. That's the 9-race card for you. Let's get into the lightning round. We got a lot to cover coming up. Let's start of course, and we did have 2 stakes yesterday, but we can't start with anything but the Preakness, the middle jewel of the Triple Crown. Preakness 149, and Theft was on the agenda for Jamie Torres. And how about the coach, D. Wayne Lucas, winning his 15th Triple Crown and his 7th Preakness Stakes, and that is remarkable. I said it, at 88 years young, a masterful ride here. Wayne runs his horses. Wayne is not afraid to take a shot in races like this, and it's proven very, very fruitful for him in what is a legendary career. One of my favorites when I first got in racing, 1995, with the White Bridle and those kinds of horses. The Golden Attractions and the Editor's Note and the Honors and Glories, Timber Country, Thunder Gulch. And now, 44 years after his first Preakness in 1980, he's going to win his 7th Preakness. It's awesome. And what a ride, too. Jamie Torres in his first Preakness, 24-year-old rider that came to racing quite late in the game. But congratulations to the connections. Ron and Samantha were up there. The office was up there. They'll have a lot to say about that next week when they're back. But Preakness 149, one for the books for sure. How about the Roar Stakes yesterday, huh? Crimson Advocate. I thought she was very vulnerable. No, not at all. What a powerful effort off the Breeders' Cup layoff. Esperon went wild early like he's known to do in a patiently timed ride, and Crimson Advocate is back. This race kind of fell apart late, and she was on the hard chase the whole way. Royal Ascot winner last year, now a 2-time Gulfstream Park Stakes winner, beating the boys yesterday as well. The sky is the limit for her this year. Great to see her back. The Monroe was earlier in the card, and I mentioned already the Glen Hill Homebred Ocean Club wins this race. She won it like a good thing. She was favored. The betting public was spot on, unlike the morning line. And congratulations, too, to Bethany Bumgardner, because when you're going to win your first career race and you're going to win it in a stakes, that's pretty awesome. And she's going to have many chances now to win a lot more races with these Glen Hill horses. So kudos to her. I want to give a shout out to Edwin, too, because that was a really, really good ride. It was a decisive ride. He saw the opening there. He put the best horse on the lead and made everybody come and catch her, and they couldn't do her. Ocean Club's is a very fascinating racehorse. Topita win here last time, and now the stakes win. She could be going places, to be sure. Best bet in a long shot time for me. The best bet, 7-2 on the morning line. Maybe we get a little bit of a number on Spetro in race 6, and that's in all the sequences today, too. So that could be significant. My long shot is, I got to see this come up because, oh, that's right, Bunny Honey for Jerry O'Dwyer in that wildly difficult race 5, and that is the biggest spread race. I'm going 6 deep in all my picks in there, and I'm going 6 deep in the TT pick 3 too. Guys, can we show that? Because I totally flubbed on that, and I'm putting you under the gun here. I totally flubbed. If we can show that ticket, we're going to get it. All right, I appreciate it. Guys, it's a very difficult sequence. Raymond, guys, thank you. I had to whittle this a little bit because I had a single in race 7, and that was $54, and the single scratched. I wanted to go 6 deep in race 5. I didn't want to give out a $72 ticket, though. This does pay very handsomely. $3 minimum, 15% takeout. That's a pick 3 for you. All turf today, and those are really, really good races. And then last but not least, now take note of this because we're going to be back with you on Thursday. And when we are back with you on Thursday, we have a new post time here for the remainder. I expect the remainder of the summer. We'll go to 12:55 here on Thursday's post. So that means Gulfstream today will air right around 11:55. But for the remainder, at least for the foreseeable future, post time now for the Royal Palm meet at 12:55. So that's it for me. Pete Aiello is upstairs with your scratches and your changes. We hope to see you out here on a beautiful Sunday at Gulfstream Park. Best of luck.